Welcome once again to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how I designed this wheelbarrow using different draw commands. So you are seeing one right here on the screen. So I'm going to start a fresh one, and all I will do is to create them in parts and assemble them all as one unit. So I'm going to open up a new page and start the drawing afresh. Okay, here is a new page. So as usual, I will have to set up my drawing units, and that I'll do by just typing U and choose units and do my setup right here. So I choose decimal as a type, then precision I'm going to choose 0, insertion scale is millimeters, and I click OK for that setup. And again I'm going to choose my workspace, and I'm going to use 3D modeling workspace for this, and also I'm going to set the view to top view to start the drawing. Okay, first I'm going to use the line command, so I click on line and draw a vertical line of 700 units. Okay, draw another line, a horizontal line of 1000 units. Then draw another vertical line of 500 units. Okay, so I'll move this vertical line from the midpoint here and drop it right here. Okay, then use the line command again to connect these two vertical lines. Repeat line and connect these two. Okay. Now with the join command, I'm going to join all these lines together. So I click on modify and choose join and highlight all this. Okay, so I now have one polyline. Now with the offset command, I'm going to offset this. So I click on offset, right click and choose through. Click on this and pull this together. Close. It should be okay. Exit the command. Now draw a vertical line. Cut it off from somewhere here. Then use the trim command to trim off these ones. Okay. Then shift this one to towards the right. So move this closer here. Yeah, it should be alright. Okay, so I'm not going to use the fillet command to fillet all these corners. So I click on fillet and choose the fillet radius of 100 units and fillet these corners. Repeat fillet. This time right click and choose multiple because there are more to fillet. Okay. Now I'm also going to fillet these ones. This time choose fillet and choose a radius of 550 units. Click on this, repeat fillet, right click and choose multiple. Now fillet these ones too. exit. Okay, next I'm going to draw a line from these two centers then move the line from this point to here, somewhere here. Okay, now draw a circle of diameter 135 from the red point. Click on circle command, here at the center, draw a circle of diameter 135. Okay, now draw a horizontal line from the red point, connect this, repeat same here, okay, repeat line, and from this point again to this red point, repeat line, okay. So next I'm going to switch to isometric view. So I click on this and choose southwest isometric. Okay, so I'm now going to move this very one upwards by 300 units. So I click on move and move this by 300 upwards, 300. Okay. Now with the loft command, I'm going to loft this and this. So I choose loft and loft this too and enter. Enter again. Okay. Now I'm going to switch to shade of gray to see how this looks like. Okay. So next I'm going to use the shell command to shell this very object now to a thickness of 3. So I move to the solid toolbar and click on shell, click on this object, click on the top on the shell, enter, and enter a thickness of 3. Okay, that's done. So I'm now going to switch to front view again. I'm going to switch to front view. Okay. Now I'm going to draw a rectangle, put here as the starting point. Draw a rectangle of this size. I'm going to rotate this rectangle to an angle of -8 degrees. So I click on this rectangle, right click and choose rotate. With here as the point of rotation, uncheck the auto mode and enter -8. Okay. Now switch back again to isometric view. Now I'm going to use the press pull command to press pull this. Okay. Switch to wireframe. Now use the solid subtract command. I'm going to subtract this from this. So I click on this first, then subtract this. Okay, so I now have to delete this. So here is the object now. So I'm now going to switch to top view. Switch again back to wireframe. Remove this line or reduce it to 0 point. Switch to front view. Now draw a line from 0 point and connect these two. Okay. Draw another line from 0 point. Draw a line. Check the auto mode. Draw a line of 600 units. Exit the command. Now switch the view to isometric. Okay. I'm not going to hide this for some time. Click on this and isolate it. Okay, so I'm now going to join these two lines using the join command and copy this line from the 0 point and place it right here. Okay. I'm now going to switch to top view. Switch the UCS to top. Okay, this time I'm going to rotate this to an angle of 25 degrees. Before I do that, I have to also fillet this. So I'm going to use the fillet command to fillet these edges, these two. Right click and choose a radius of 100 units and fillet this and this. Repeat fillet, fillet this and this. Okay. Now I'm going to rotate this to an angle of 25 degrees. So I highlight this, right click and choose rotate. But here as a point of rotation, I'm going to rotate at an angle of minus 25 degrees. Click on this and also rotate to an angle of 25 degrees. Okay. Now with the trim command, I'm going to trim off this and this. And this. Now use the join command. Join this, this, this. Okay, so I now have one geometry there. So next I'm going to draw a line from this point. Draw a line of 125 which is the radius of the tire. Then draw vertically downwards by 100. Exit the command. Okay, so I now have to draw a circle of diameter 25. Circle of diameter 25 units. And enter. Now I'm going to sweep this very circle on this very part. So I come right here, click and choose sweep. Highlight this very circle, enter, and click on this very part. Okay, so that is done. Let's view in shade of gray. Okay, let's also end the isolation to see how this fits in. Okay, so next I'm going to start to create the handles of this very wheelbarrow. So I'm going to turn it around. Right. I'm going to draw a line of 3 mm from the center. Draw a line of 3. Right. Now draw a circle of 40 diameter. Diameter 40. Now I'm going to sweep this very circle along this path of 3 mm line. So I click on sweep, click on the circle, enter, and locate this very small line. Okay, so that's that. Now I'm going to draw yet another line of 100 from this center. 100. Right. Now draw another circle of 30 diameter. 30. Okay, now draw a small square of 2 by 2. Okay, so I'll move this square from the geometric center and drop it at the quadrant point of this very circle, which is here. Now I'm going to use a path array to array this very square along the path of this very circle. So I click on path array, click on path array, array this very square, click here. Now click on base point. The base point of this square is here. Now choose the tangent direction, click on tangent direction. This is the tangent direction. Right. Now click on measure and click on divide to close up this gap and exit this command. Okay, so next I'm going to use the group command to group this. So what I need to do, highlight the whole of this, right click and choose group. Okay, now I'm going to sweep this along this very path. That's along the path of this very line. So I click on sweep, click on this, enter, and click on this very line. Okay, so that's the first handle. I'm going to turn it around again and draw the second handle. Okay, so I'm going to draw another line of 3 mm from the center. Draw a line of 3. Enter. Now draw another circle of 40 diameter. 40 diameter. Okay, so I'm going to sweep this very circle along this very path So I click on sweep, click on this circle, enter, and click on this 3mm line, right? Now click on line command again and locate the center. And draw another line of 100mm. Right. Now draw another circle again of 30 diameter. Click on circle and draw a circle of diameter 30. Again, draw a square of 2 by 2, 2 by 2, and enter. Now move this square. Click on the move command. Move this square. From the geometric center and drop it at the quadrant point of this very circle. Okay, so I'm now going to use the path array to array this square along the path of this circle. So I click on path array, highlight this square, and click on this. Okay, select the base point. Here is the base point. Then tangent direction. This is the tangent direction. Then click on measure and click on divide. Okay, and exit this command. Again, I'm going to group this, highlight the whole of this, right click and choose group. Now I'm going to sweep this again along this very path. So I click on the sweep command, click on this, enter, and click on this very line. Okay, so that's the second handle. Okay, so I have now created the two handles. Next, I'm going to create the support for the wheelbarrow. So in this case, I'm going to move and choose front view. Okay, so this is the front view. I now have to create the support for this very wheelbarrow. So I'm going to draw a line of 240 and angulate it. Draw a line of 240 downwards. I have to uncheck the auto mode. This angle should be okay. 240, 240. Now draw a horizontal line of 80. Okay, now draw again another angulated line of 240, 240. Okay, so I'm now going to close up this, click and close this up. Okay, so I'm going to use the join command to join all the lines, right? Okay, now with the offset command, I'm going to offset this very geometry now to a distance of 6 inwards. So I click on offset and enter 6 and offset this. Okay. So I'm going to fillet these two angles. So I click on this, fillet, choose radius of fillet, make it 20, and fillet this and this, repeat fillet this and this, repeat fillet this and this, repeat fillet this and this. Okay, exit this command. Okay, I'm going to switch to isometric view now. So I'm going to now use the press pull command to pull this to a distance of 20. Okay, this is one of the legs. Now you move it closer right here. Move it here. Okay, so I'm going to hide this tree and continue the drawing. So I'm going to click on this, right click and choose isolate object. Okay, so I've taken this away now. Now how to position the support. Also how to use the 3D wireframe so I can see the construction line clearly. Right, so I'm going to move this and put it right here. I'm going to copy this and pick it from this very point. Then drop it right here. Drop it right here. Okay. Copy this one as well. You can copy. Pick from this very point and drop it right here too. Okay, so that is done. Now I'm going to switch the view to right. Okay. So to be able to do the bracket, so I'm going to draw a rectangle here of 240 by 20 and enter. Now move this rectangle from this very point and drop it right here. Okay. Now switch again to now press pull this to a thickness of 6. Thickness of 6. Enter. Okay. Now switch this UCS to top position and now draw a line from this very point. Okay, so I'm now going to mirror this very bracket to the other side. So click and choose mirror. Click on this. Click on this. Choose mirror. Click on this. Then locate this center as, locate this midpoint and enter. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so next I'm going to start to create a tire. Okay, so the diameter of the tire is 250 millimeters and the width of the tire is 70. So I'm going to draw a circle of 70 diameter. I thought I have to switch the UCS to left. Okay, draw a circle of diameter 70. Okay. Now draw a line from this quadrant point. Draw a line of 125, which is the radius of this tire. 125 and enter. Okay, so again I'm going to draw a line of 160, enter. Then move this line from the midpoint here and drop it right here. Okay, so this is the center of the tire. I'm going to shift this very line upward by 12.5. I can use offset command to do that. Offset by 12.5. Enter. Offset it by 12.5. Okay. Now I'm going to draw a rectangle of 70 by 20. Now move this rectangle from this very point and drop it right here. Okay, so draw another rectangle of 20 by 50. 20. Now move this one as well from this point and drop it right here. Drop it here. Okay. Now use the trim command. I'm going to trim out this. Open up here too. Okay. Now draw a line from this quadrant point to join this. Okay. Now move this line up again by, just move it up from the right point. Okay, this side should be alright. Okay. Now with the trim command, trim off this and this, trim it off. Then make a copy of this. Click on copy. Copy this to copy this out. Copy right here. Then trim off these portions. Trim off these portions. Trim off these portions. Erase. Also trim off this. Now join this all up. The join command. Click on join and join all this. Okay. Now offset this. Offset this by 3 mm. Click on offset. Enter 3 and offset this by 3. Enter. Draw a line from here. Enter. Trim off these portions again. Just trim off this. And this. Okay. Join this all up. Join. Okay, now draw a square of 2 by 2. 2, 2. Then move this square from the geometric center and drop it right here. Okay, now with the path array, I'm going to array this very square along this very arc. So I right click here and choose path array. Highlight this square and click on this. Okay, choose the base point. Base point is right here. Okay, now click on tangent direction. This is tangent direction. Okay, now click on measure and click on divide and exit this command. Right, so I'm going to use the group command to group all these. Right click and choose group. Group. Okay. Now I'm going to move this from this very point and drop it right here. Okay. So now I'm going to use the revolve command to revolve this. So I come right here, click on revolve. Enter. Now with these two ends as the axis, enter 360 degrees. Okay. So with the union command, I'm going to let all this. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to switch the UCS to front. So click right here and choose front. Now draw a square of 50 by 50. Okay. Now draw a circle with here at the center. Now draw yet another circle, repeat circle, draw another circle of diameter 25. Okay, use the trim command, trim off this, and this. Right, now use the press pull command to press pull this to a distance of 20. Okay, now take a copy of this. Click on copy and shift to a distance of. Now copy this and shift distance of 135 and enter. Exit the command. Now draw a line of 160, 160. And draw a circle of 25. Right, now sweep this circle along the part of this very line. Enter, then click on this line. Alright, I'm going to draw a line from this very point to this point. Okay. Now move these two from the center, from this center, and drop it right here. Right. Okay, so I'm going to hide this tire. Highlight this, right click and choose isolate and click on hide object. Now move the whole of this, move this from this point and drop it right here. Alright, now end isolation. Put the right click and click on end isolation. Okay. Now I'm going to draw a line of 135. Check the auto mode. 135 and enter. Then move this line from the midpoint and drop it right here. Okay. Then use the union command to unite this. Click on union and click on this. Highlight the whole of it. Okay. Now move this. Move the whole of this and pick it from here. Pick from this point and locate the other point. Okay, so the next I'm going to do is to create the brackets for the tree. This and this. So I'm going to switch to front view. Switch to front view. Also switch again to 3D wireframe. Okay, I'm going to use the polyline command. Draw a line from this very point. Angulate this line. Okay. Now draw another line again from this point. Enter a distance of 20. Okay. Now copy these two lines out. Move them here. And draw another line from this very point, line of 20. 20. Okay. Now group all these lines together. Use the join command to do that. Okay, so I'm going to offset these lines now by 6. I'll click on offset and enter 6 and offset this. Okay. Now close up the ends of these lines. Click on line and close up this end. Enter. Repeat line and close up this end. Okay. Now use the join command to join them all up. Okay. Okay, now switch back again to isometric view. Alright, so I'm going to press pull this now to a distance of 15. So I click on press pull command. Click on this, enter 15. Right. Now I'm going to move this. Move this from this very point. Locate this center. Look at the center of this very bracket here. Let's locate this first. Okay, so I can move it back to this center. That's the geometric center of that. Drop it there. Okay, so let's view the shaded view and see how it looks like. Okay, I have to do some adjustments right here. So I click on front view again. Okay, I'm going to adjust something right here. Clean up this. Clean up this. Now click, switch to wireframe. Okay, so I'm going to adjust this a little. Click on this. Move. Click right here and shift. Okay, that should be alright. So switch back again to isometric. Okay, so this is it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hide the tire. Right click, choose isolate, and isolate the tire. Okay, so I'm now going to use the mirror command to mirror this to the other side. And before I do that, I have to switch the UCS to top. So I come right here and click on top. Okay, so I'm now going to mirror this to the other side. So I click on this, click on mirror, choose mirror, click on this, with here at the center. Okay, so that has been done. So I have to bring back the tire again. So I right click, and object isolation. I'm going to switch off some of the construction lines here. Exit this and clean off these construction lines. Remove this and this. Erase. Right, switch to start First, let's do metric. Okay, so here is the tire now in place and all other parts now together. So thanks for watching, and please do subscribe for more of my tutorials.